Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to DocuSweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, honey, which, can be a little annoyed, a little, frustrated, a little tedious, but at the same time can also be joyous, harmonious, and hopefully sweet. Hi!
Hello! All right, you guys, so we're talking Love After Lockup Season 5, Episode 4, Dark Side of the Spoon. Chris?
I hate you.
I mean, it's everyone thought the same thing too, so you just tell the people what you know.
Okay,
What you
so
thought.
when I saw this episode title, I was like, low-key, you can't name an episode of Love After Lockup that because it's unfortunately the connotation of like a drug culture that is synonymous with certain peeps on the show, and you can't you like we've been traumatized, we know, like you can't, so it's also like the dark side of the spoon, like like what, it's too much and they knew it, they've been knowing it, and I feel like it's a little bit of like a bait, like I hate him for it. We've been sharped.
We have.
Woo! Honey, that's what I should do every time. I'm just like, it's just like a little pencil right in the cooter, like
In the
it's sharp.
cooter? Can it be in the armpit? Not in the cooter, Chris. We don't put things there that are made out of
We
lead.
don't? Wait, what would you say? I'm sorry?
Fleshy things. So we
Yeah,
don't put things that are made out of lead.
Yeesh,
It's a
yeesh.
pencil right in the pits. It's a pencil in the pits. I'm gonna say
Okay,
that.
sharp. But yeah, basically, I don't know. But it also is that whatever. It's uh, It's a album. It's a rock album of Grateful Dead.
Pink Floyd? Pink Floyd.
Oh, you
But
can see
close.
that I.
Close. No, not close at all.
Is
but
it?
close?
Oh,
No.
God
Yeah,
damn it.
unfortunately, Grateful Dead is like, it's like underground.
Uh-huh.
It's not Pink Floyd. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
look
but
that up.
it's like both people are rock people with
I
aesthetics and tendencies and
I
hardcore devotional. Like, listen, audiences. I mean, like, listen. I mean, if you are those people, if you are one of those fans, I'm sure I just like really said something bad. But you know what I'm saying, kind of a little bit.
I
No.
have never heard not a Grateful Dead song. I've just heard people my age in high school like, yeah, it's the Grateful Dead. Like, we're gonna go to not Stagecoach. We're gonna go to Coachella and like get dirty in the fucking desert. Listen, it's like one of those things. What is that? Is that Stagecoach? I think Stagecoach is country music.
Country.
What's the one where they like all
Coachella.
got caught in the mud this time? Was that Stagecoach?
Burning Man.
Burning Man. Yes, Grateful
Yes.
Dead is Burning Man to me.
Okay. Yeah, and Pink Floyd is like probably like 40 years prior to that, and like their whole thing is like you would just do mushrooms, listen to their album. Like, I think Dark Side of the Moon is like a thing where you can do drugs and be like,
okay, listen, this is a great thing. The Grateful Dead was an American rock band
Was?
formed in
Oh.
yeah, so Pink Floyd is not American. Formed in 1965 in Palo Alto, California. So unfortunately, Chris and I are bad Californians. We are bad. I mean, we are bad Californians that we didn't know the Grateful Dead is from our beloved state. So it says they're known for their electric style, which fused elements of rock, blues, jazz, folk, country, bluegrass, and now I need to listen to that because I'm like, how did they do that? But anyways, what are we talking about? This show.
I know. Tell me about it, by the way. And then I went through all my mind, like, oh, well, I do know some California bands. I was like, Sublime, no doubt. And then I was like, Beach Boys, Snoop Dogg. Anyway, the band Snoop Dogg. The whole label. But I was like, the whole label.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, but like it's crazy that I don't know the Grateful Dead are from the States. I mean, from California, the state, the greatest state.
Oh, you can't say that.
I can. Okay, anyways, 4 minutes in, let's talk about the first couple, and that's gonna be Chelsea and Mikey. I didn't realize that they were 8 years difference in age. I didn't realize he was so much younger than her. Like 32 is practically 28 to me.
Yeah, because he again gets a card for his 30th birthday, and when that happened, I was like, how old's this card? And it's only 2 years old, I guess, or whatever the filming was, because he is so so young. And again, like he, really that those drugs age you. You know what I'm saying? Like he, and it's funny because Mike looks so handsome in comparison to other people right out of prison.
I mean, this man is a man. He was like, oof. I was like, Chelsea, I know you don't want to have sex with him right now, but you could cuddle up and get some more from all that. That's a tree trunk of a man.
I know, I know. He's so cute. Like when
I
there's
know.
okay, well, let's just get into this. So, yeah, he is crying on the way to his sisters, and his mom's, is like his family home, and obviously, as we know, both of them just lost their moms, and it's really sad. He never got to see his mom, obviously, when he was out of prison, as she, supported him until death came for her.
Yeah.
And yeah. So, and Chelsea and him have been like connecting in the car and like signing back and forth. And she's been like, yeah, you can sign, but also, like I can read those lips, you know what I'm saying? And, she calls her son Trevor while they're on the car, and she's like kind of like half signing to him, and then she tells us something which I didn't realize, but I had noted it, but like I didn't think it was a choice, which is that she is choosing not to like use her voice when she signs or talks, because she's self-conscious, she's cognizant, and she's like self-conscious, but she doesn't want to do it. So she does it obviously on camera because she's talking to her son, and it's like very natural, she's with her family. And so, but it's obviously also on camera and in front of him, and he clocks it in a nonverbal way, obviously, that she feels different that she's done that. And and he's just like immediately like, oh no, like I want you to be comfortable to like do that with me. Like, and I think there's something so incredibly beautiful when someone understands intrinsically and caters to someone's needs and wants them to feel secure and comfortable. And, like it's already hard to communicate that across the board. And the thing about, obviously, since you're a listener, you might know that we've also do like 90 Day Fiance, and we get to like talk about David and Sheila. So there's something about being able to watch people communicate non-verbally and like take it to that basic presence of breath and like and looking into like eye contact and being with someone and like intuitively or empathetically being like, what does this person need? That makes it so that when you have a couple and a connection, it feels so loving or connected in some way.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does. I recall her saying that last time, last season she was on, that she didn't like talking, but she had to for his people because they, wouldn't be able to understand her. But I just thought it was such a sweet moment. He was so happy the whole time. And we've seen either or when people come out of prison. Either the person and the guy is grumpy or the woman is grumpy, and then they're just like, "Well, I don't know what I want to do." And it's like then you have this, which I don't know like what the recipe is, right? Like what makes it so that when that person comes out of prison, they're not immediately overwhelmed / annoyed, or you aren't mad at them because they don't want to immediately crawl up your butt and stay there. So
I know.
so they get to the mom's house, or really the sister's house, and it's like a farmhouse, and it is a farmhouse, girl. Like it is. I was like, what does the inside of that house look like? And it looked like it had not been touched since the day it was put up. But it's it's a place where the family can stay and like come together. And so apparently she's been there before, Chelsea, and she's like hung out with the sisters in the funeral. She was just like there supporting. So already that drama that normally happens when like the people who've been at home feel that they need that person immediately to be underneath them. There's none of that drama, except they have this scene which I think is fake. Right? Like the scene where he pretends like they're going to spend the night, their first night together in his mother's bed.
Yeah,
That was fake.
yeah. Because at first I was like, if this is real, is he going to die on the bridge? That she should not be that she should be fine with that. Like the when he asks her, and she's like, and I was like, oh yeah, thank God. In my mind, I was like, she better not acquiesce for any reason. Like, how like there's a lot of women on these type of shows that will just be like, okay. Like I feel like if he was like, if that was Louis and Melissa, and he's like, let's fuck in this bed, like she didn't want to sleep in the parents in the obviously their parents' room, like Debbie's house, or sorry, I keep calling her Debbie, but it's
Donna?
Donna, and it's like a D word, you know what I'm saying? Like, and but at the same time, it's because they also had to sleep separately. I feel like if they were offered a bed in a different room and Louis was like, I want to sleep here, we can just like be here, like Melissa would be like, okay. Now, obviously, Donna is not dead, so that leaves another like layer of horror. And Melissa's mom did just also die, like just like living in like a dead mom, cycle of months. I just feel so bad for both of them. But yeah, it did seem weird. And he's just like, I get it. And she's like, yeah. But then he's like, well, she's ready. She's willing to pay for it. Is like his also what he said, which was also interesting.
Yeah. But I also like the fact that, obviously she paid for it. He's like, she's gonna pay for it and let's go. And I'm like, how far away was that Motel 6 or Holiday Inn or whatever it was? How far away was it? Because they were like in the middle of like farmed land. So like a 30-minute drive to the next place. And she's so comfortable driving on these like open wide roads where she could just sign and like look at him for an extended period of time
I know it. I know.
while she's driving. So they get to the place and he does something. It's like, oh, I mean, a lot of people in prison haven't seen this show. But he turned to them before they got to the hotel in the space and he's like, y'all gotta go. And then they followed him like 3 more steps and he's like, hey, take all this mic shit off of me and go. So they're like, it felt like they were like, Chelsea, come here, come do a like bit little thing. So Chelsea does her thing where she explains that she's not gonna have sex with him, that she's gonna like scoot away from him. And I was like, well, then you should get a separate room or 2 separate beds or something. It just, I don't know. It just felt like, is she telling the truth? Like, is she gonna scamper away from him? Like it was like, you don't want to, that man? This is not Gino. You know what I'm saying? This isn't all the other men from that. This isn't Handy. This isn't, that old man who tried to get with that younger blonde lady. Like, this isn't. What's that Kentucky man who always was smoking and he was with the girl who talked like this? Like, it wasn't him. Like, I was like,
yeah.
Get in the Bronwyn and whatever. I was like, get in the bed with that man. But anyway, she doesn't want to. And so they go in, and I thought it was a good. I like that he's assertive. I like him for her. Hopefully, he's a good guy.
Yeah, because she, like he's gonna protect her. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and also, this was a great scene. You can see that this man was definitely raised in a matriarchal household, honey. Like, there's been women. Like he has sisters. They're all coming in. They're so happy to see him. He's like, like he's, immediately he feels obviously very bad for having probably feeling like he let down the family for years, and also in the years prior to even probably him getting arrested, but also B then not being there for like life, and of course the death of their mom. So when his other sister comes in, it's just very emotional, and like Chelsea's crying too. So one other beautiful thing is that Mikey is a very emotional, like sensitive person. We really like dive into this episode. So when obviously his mother passed, Chelsea came to the funeral and she was there to be present and like grieve with like his family, his sisters. And it's like made the bond between Chelsea and the sisters like really, really tight. And Chelsea like loves them and also like hasn't had sisters, and that feels really great for them. But Mikey is just straight up like, oh, when she came to the funeral, I know that she'd be my life partner.
Mm-hmm.
And even when he talks about wanting to be intimate with her, he says wanting to be intimate. He says the word right, intimate. He wants to be intimate with her. He's just like, I just want to, look into her eyes and like kiss her and like feel her skin, like that's very different from like a billion other ways he could say what he wants to do. And that other ways than we've heard, because this is again like something we've been hearing, which is like this the thing I want to do out of prison. Like we hear it this episode, we'll hear it every season of everything, like.
Yep.
And of course, what's always interesting is how long it's been since that person has. And then we get to interfere. We get to like think, what's happened since, I wonder, and we all get to think about all of that. Like we get to think a lot about their sex life. That's one of the things about them being on the show. But I think that he approaches it very beautifully, and definitely different from how Melissa, this is like so different from Melissa and Louis. I can't even get over it. Like,
yeah,
I just like, and having both of them to be like juxtaposed next to each other, so we should probably do them next. But like even the storylines, it's so fun because it's like cultures, connections, people are so different across the board. Like the the way that you view things, the way that you value things, the way that you like look at things, it's just it's I think it's a teachable moment for us all.
It really is. And it's like it's hard to find teachable moments from Love After Lockup, but here we are. But before we move on to Louis and Melissa, let's go to a commercial. So help your girls out. Listen to it.
We got to stay in some hotels, honey.
Okay. Hey, we're back. What a quick turnaround, huh? Patreon.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So let's move on to Louis and Melissa.
Oh god. This fake. All this fake.
Oh my gosh.
Fake.
It has to be fake. Somebody said keep on that moo and bring the spoon. You know what I mean? Making a scene, there was literally nobody in that parking lot. So, okay.
Super camera crew. You're absolutely right. I'm so happy.
Louis and Melissa get up and they sneak out the house. I guess Donna is dead to the world and can't. I mean, does she have a hearing aid? Did she take it out? Like, why is she unable to like tell that they left? So they leave.
She was drinking. Just remember, this was a drunk Donna that went to bed, and like me.
Just Miller Lights, yes.
Just like that back, she probably like popped like who knows what, like 3 melatonin, honey.
Melatonin. Anyways, so then they talk about how controlling the mother is on the way to the hotel, and she's like, do you think that someone's gonna be out there? And we all know this is fake. Like Louis is not putting himself through all of this only to go back to prison. He doesn't seem like one of the other dumb knuckleheads that we've seen on this show, right? So he's committed to turning his life around. They get to the hotel, he takes off his pants, he's worrying about being a 2-pump chump, and she has her period, and we all know this, and it's too much. We don't want to know. They had sex. I've never been in like a relationship, so having sex on my period has not like in the thick of my period has never happened. Like some guy has tried, like like situation. Okay, but it just it just grosses me out.
But what did Razvan say? Like, a man is not a man unless his sword has been dipped in blood.
I mean, I love it. I love that, but I don't want it, you know?
You know what? I think that I agree with Razvan. That's all I'm gonna say. I absolutely agree with it. Like I think that across the board, a sort of like any sort of like ewness to human body like it's like not sexy at all. Like like what's sexy is like a primal need, and what's not sexy is any sort of like
from the man's part, or everybody's part.
I don't think that I think that we want our own standards of love. I'm not saying that you should just say yes to everything and just get like like desecrated in any sort of way. I used a great word. I know I was going to come out of my mouth, but I did it. I pulled through. Thanks, BA in liberal arts. But anyway, so God bless. And you're like desecrated, Chris. Like, don't give yourself a pat on the back. I'm just saying in the moment, thank God. So having said that, I think that also as a whatever you are, whatever gender you are, you should just have like a what are they calling, like a willingness, ableness. You're just like down for whatever. I think that specifically if you're in a relationship and you are a man, you should understand that if you're going to be heterosexual with a cisgender woman or with a woman that ovulates, like that's what happens, and you have to appreciate who you're with. I mean, we can get into talking about that in other situations, but like that is her body, like, and if you cannot partake of it, like, I don't know, it says more about you and less about her. And if I were her, I would run.
I actually watched something about anal, and the person was like, poop happens. So if that's the same as vagina bloody with sexy in the penis, then, I get it. So they, I guess, have a good time. And then the next morning, she takes him to his parole office, the right parole office, unlike some other folks in the show. And He goes in and she immediately gets on FaceTime with her, or not immediately. She gets on FaceTime with her sister. They're talking. And at the perfect time, Donna rolls up in her muumuu and knocks on her window with a wooden spoon. And it is, I mean, listen, it would have been a great moment had they not teased it so much.
I mean, here's the thing, like, every part of this feels fake now. Like, yes, exactly. All of that happens, but even like her rolling over in the morning when he's suddenly doing core workouts and she's in Priscilla Presley makeup. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Yeah, obviously the moo looked like it was bought by a costume designer that like has worked on Friends for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looked specific, so it's hard, especially also in the scene. She's like supposed to be like on the phone with her sister, like FaceTime with the sister, being like, "I can't tell you about this, mom." Click, click, click. Oh, wait 1 second, and then again, Wog said it perfectly, which is that for some reason it's because of they can't like film too much, I think, on the property, and it's better in the car that she's like, come inside the car. Like, why would you do that? If someone's like about to be abusing you and you don't want them around you, I would be like, oh yes, no, just come in the car and just be closer to me so you can hit me with that spoon.
Yeah, you're causing a scene. Go, get inside the car. And it's like, where's her car? Did she like come up in her slippers? Like, we don't know what happened. And then Louis comes out, he rolls up to the side. He's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I wanted to make sure you're okay. I haven't heard from you in 12 hours. So what they say, and he's like, nothing, that's none of your business. And then at some point, and maybe not in this part of it, but there's another point where Melissa tries to chime in and she's like, I don't want to hear from you, sweetheart. Or like, nothing from you, dinglefoot. Like, she says something that's like princess, or like, no chiming in from you, lady parts. I don't know what she says.
Lady parts.
I don't know what.
Yeah, you are. She's a New York cop on the beat.
Yeah.
And she's always like, she's giving the asides that like a Law and Order, like rough and tumble woman would, if she was like, it is perfect. I mean, it is crazy and perfect.
Law and Order. If it's SVU, it's like, hey, Cap, perpetrator came through, talked about he wanted to do this. This the guy over there left a baby in the trash can. It's like
I love it so much. I mean, that's like half my relationship with my dad is watching Law and Order.
Sounds like this guy knows a thing too about teaching. Let's go talk to him. It's like, okay, Ice-T.
Ice-T. I mean, Coco. I'm just like that. Like that Law and Order has funded Coco's life, and like, I mean, obviously the music too, but that NBC years long money sure is not bad.
I mean, they fly private. That's how much, and it's not even his. It's not even the Law and Order money. It's her ass shots as well. This woman makes money selling her old shoes, also like showing feet pics. Like, Coco is doing all of the things. I love every moment of it. They fly. How many rappers? I mean, there's rappers who could, but like, to have as much money to fly private to and fro, that is, network television money. You're right, Chris. Good for them. So happy for their success in life. He started off as a rapper, and he was in that movie where he was being hunted by all those rich people, and then like, here he is now.
And now he, yeah, now he is the rich person. Anyway, but yeah, one more thing is like, why was Melissa obsessed with talking about the condoms? Like, why did she bring it up 14 times? Like, are we gonna have sex without condoms? Can you believe we had sex without condoms? Are you gonna want to have sex without condoms? It's like, and I think that it's like, and then she said it later on, this thing where she was like, I want him, like, obviously I want him to go to like New Jersey with me, because if not, I just open the floodgates. Even though he opened my floodgates. You know what I mean? God bless, God bless. But basically, now he's just to sit here and have sex with anyone, And by the way, the entire time, I mean, he's the beadiest of beadies. We're just like, oh my God, I mean, it makes no sense at all. Like, wow.
He looks like a bird. Like, he looks like he should be like, pecking or something, or like some worms. But anyway, so he like, she She is just insisted upon telling us that she's waiting to have sex with him for 20 years. And I'm like, you've been waiting to have sex with like an ex heroin addict? It's like the wildest thing. Like, that's the premise of this show. Like, it'd be different if you've been waiting for him and like whatever, but like it's too much. And then she's like, I don't know what he's going to be doing, you know, and I really want him to come with me to New Jersey. And then she's like, well, we don't really want to have kids right now. But if Donna said that it wouldn't be a good idea, I'm having a baby immediately. And I'm like, girl, that sounds stupid.
Yeah.
You don't even sound like you make any sense.
It's like the thing where maybe it's like being in love with, someone like a matinee teen idol. Like, I really loved Edward Furlong growing up. Edward Furlong from Terminator 2. Terminator 2, John Connor. And a couple of things. Anytime anyone brings up AI, I'm like, oh, I hate AI. And they're like, what, like why? Like how, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I watched T2 way too much. Like, I've been warned about the machines, and I know they've been coming, and there were dates, and I don't even understand why you don't know that. Like, that was like my Bible.
It's so true.
I don't get people.
I am scared of all of it. People are like, oh, the machine can do this. And I'm like, have you not seen that machines will find us lacking and therefore exterminate us? Like, no, we don't want them to be smart. We don't want them to be intuitive. I don't want them to be smart. Okay. I don't want them to have a face. I don't want them to be attached to the mainframe. None of that.
I'm convinced Terminator 2 was literally someone going back in time like James Cameron and telling him to write this to save us. And I am now watching in real time as my civilization fails that. And I mean, like, I just, God bless. I don't understand that. It's just such a fucked up situation. But like, going back to what we're talking about, which is Love After Lockup.
Oh yeah, Love After Lockup. Okay. Do you want to move on?
Yeah, the way he rips off her sweater made me laugh. Sorry. A couple of key things. The way he ripped off her sweater, like over her hair, she's like, that was harsh, because that was just, again, I just loved that. That's all I want to say. Yeah,
I forgot to say that he's on probation. So this is what we find out. He comes out, he's on probation, and he has to pay $32 a month for the next 10 years. And I'm really happy for him. Okay, that is like maybe get the gas, if you're doing a lot of gas work, or that's like an electric bill if you're like in an apartment. It's like super. It's just a utility bill, and then a one-time payment of $150. I love it for him. I love it for him. So Donna's mildly upset that he wants to leave, but basically he brings up a good point. Georgia is where he got into trouble and got drugged, so he might as well go back to New Jersey and live a life with Melissa and see how it goes. And I'm happy for them. Okay, so let's move on to Handy and Brittany. Okay, let me tell you, I never expected Brittany to do what she had did so early on, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And she just redeemed herself. I mean, because she was a total dick to him the last episode of like, bye, sit in the car. But then, and she's a communicator and he's not good at it. Oh God, Chris, like it was, every moment of it was great. He's a liar. Like he just lied. Like it's just like, and then Barry getting on the phone telling the sis like, hey girl, guess what way up in. It was great. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. So he comes to the door with coffee in his hand and he can't get in and so he knocks and she's just like,
oh, this asshole.
She is annoyed. So then she lets him knock like 4 times and then she finally goes and opens it and like doesn't even try to help him, just opens it wide enough so where he could like get in, and then she walks away and he's like, so what are you doing?
Ew. Why?
So what you want some coffee? She's like, no. I'm like, damn, this man brought you a cup of coffee and you're just like, no. I'm like, just say thank you and take it.
Not a latte. He didn't probably put nothing in it. It is brown water what he gave her. Like in one of those like styrofoam things, you'd like pull back the lid and like stips the tab in. It's brown water.
Anyway. Listen, not to shit on gas station coffee because I know people live on it, but it felt like that's where he got it from. Because they're at some like motel, like in the whatever part of Georgia that they're in.
Mm-hmm. Basically he's just like, What's happening? You seem tense, terse. That seems weird in here.
I'm just upset because Gracie's upset.
Oh, Grace, let me give you my opinion. Now you didn't ask for it,
I'm glad you know. Okay, great.
but that's not gonna stop me from giving you my opinion, which really isn't my opinion, but what I want to do, and I can't communicate what my needs are, which is I'm dumb and think that you should just come home with me and I don't care about what you want or need or like what's good for you because I bought you from prison.
Yeah. And she's like, I can't leave my daughter. One of the things that you told me and that I told you was that A, you understood my relationship with my kids and the fact that I have been an absentee parent and on drugs and I need to repair that relationship. You promised you'd help me. And two, like my daughter is very upset. So I'm going to like do what I got to do to make her happy because I have done things. And so then he leaves and goes outside and tells his friend that she's like Jekyll and Hyde. Let me tell you, this is a person who's never actually seen anything with Jekyll and Hyde. This is the person who never read the books. This is the person who's never seen anything to even like simply understand what that fucking means. And he just added dubs like, oh yeah, her daughter's upset and like, I really don't know what's going on. She told me that she wanted me to help her. And his idea is that Gracie's a bit of a drama queen and she's being dramatic. And she's also 18, so a full-on fucking adult. And so if she left you, you should just leave her.
Yeah. And also, he wants to save Brittany because this is usually a thing that's a triggering thing. So she should just run away from her daughter and her responsibilities.
Yeah. And then it's just like we're like she's like, I can't believe he's a girl dad. Like it makes me feel like everything that the girl said is true.
Okay.
He's so selfish. And he's so like, well, I'm gonna do what I need to do to make me happy. But and everybody else can just suck it because I'm gonna do what I need to do to make me happy. Like,
He has a very transactional idea, I feel like, of relationships. Like, I feel like he's like, she's a down on her luck prisoner. I definitely know what it's like to be around down on their luck prisoners. I probably masturbated taking around all those women all the time. So like I have like a thing for it, like I love an addict because they need me. They'll always come back to me, because they need my money. I understand that. And so it's transactional and that's how I view relationships. And so um, I'm gonna, like find one, seek one out. I know how to find them, so I'll go on the website, and he does, and then yeah, he's like, great. So I have an iPhone. I give her that, and I'm gonna give her money. No, I was supposed to give her that. I'm gonna lie and only give her this. I'm put it in a bear to make it even better. I don't even know that this is so crazy to show my kids because of how little I gave them or how little I give them now, and like I mean, whatever they saw, like I can't even imagine. But like it's a caveman style, like not real understanding of a relationship. And so he thinks that he's done that. And yeah, like literally bought and brought her from prison. He made the cake. He brought her to he's been baiting his time after the party to be like, all right, let's go home and fuck. Can't wait to be fucking.
Yep.
And he looks, I think, dumb in front of his son, and he knows it.
I mean, the son seems a little, shy of some tools from the shed himself. The fact that he kind of doesn't ask any questions and just is like, yeah, I think everything is going to be fine. But he's like, I feel like you have some guilt. You have some guilt, and just I need you to push through that guilt. Okay, just let it go because she's an adult now, that Gracie. And so she says, listen, you understood that you needed to fit into my kid's life. And right now this is fitting into my kid's life is like focusing on Gracie. And so she's like, he is so controlling. I mean, he went on Caged Ladies and I was like, Caged Ladies? How is that spelled? I wrote caged and then lay and then D's.
No, I'm gonna put it on you.
Okay,
I'm gonna go right now. Okay, I'll do
Caged,
this. This is live. This is live.
Caged Ladies or Ladies.
Wait, Ladies, right?
I don't know what it is. The way she says it sounds like ladies.
Okay, I'm going to women inmates seeking. No, it's cagedladies.com. CAGEDLADIES. And it's like
I mean, who did the graphics on that? Put that back up on the screen,
yeah, the
Patreon. Look at
graphic
this.
is
Who did that?
it's word art. It looks like, or the clip art that you would get, like, it looks like Microsoft popped up, like, as you're writing something and like, do you need a grammatical error? Like, it's two eyes with like boopity blip lashes and like obviously a heart lips. I mean, write a female inmate, prison pen pals. This is how it is. This is where it starts. Watch us now. Fast forward to like a year and we're like, well, we met someone. Both of us met someone, like.
She's our friend. Like, just I want to reach out to caged ladies as well, see how they're doing. Anyways, oh my god, who is that? Looks like Brittany a little bit. Oh wow, she's cute.
I'm like, who are, yeah, all these pictures are like before, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, like, oh God, I'll tell you.
I can only imagine a man being, is that a bathroom selfie? But she doesn't even take a picture of herself, just like
Yes.
the paper
Oh,
towel
she's getting a
dispensers.
lot. This girl's getting a lot.
Yeah.
That girl's getting a lot.
That's a good angle.
Yeah.
Oh no, mamas.
There's a lot of filters.
Oh
Oh
no, white collar crime. She looks like somebody's secretary. Girl, it's the black girl thing. Hair laid, lip gloss. That's it. Okay.
Brittany.
Bird
That's
bones,
what
Brittany.
Marcelino saw when he first published.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's, you changed it. Okay, great.
Sorry, and this is where I live now. I live on this site, so I don't have to tell you. I'll be here for a long time.
So wow. Okay, so then she's like, yeah, her kids, they're good kids, but they have the flair for the dramatic. So anyways, he's like on the phone. She sneaks by. She like doesn't even sneak by him. I don't know how she gets by him. She gets by him, goes downstairs, and leaves with Gracie. He turns around, sees her leaving, and then is like, I don't understand where she's going. I have no idea what's going on. And it's like, you do, because she just told you what was going on. She literally just told you before you got on the phone and complained to your friend that she was going to fix things with Gracie and go hang out and have some girls' time with Gracie. And then he chooses to stay there. He goes downstairs, talks to Barry, and is like, I don't know what's going on, so I guess we're waiting. And it's like, no, you absolutely do know what's going on. Chris, it's too much for me. It's too many lies. And so he's like, yeah, just, I guess I gave her all this stuff and she just like hightailed it out of here. And I'm like, yeah, because you're trying to tell her that she's wrong for wanting to love on her child.
Yeah. He wants a new sex playmate. He just wants to like take her home where she has nothing to do except like be his little wife, like it's just so sad, and also she's not great, but he's so dumb. Like, I agree with you. Like, he's going to be like, out of nowhere, she just left, and it's like, that's the thing where he's like, she's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It's like, no, out of nowhere, she did not leave because as Wa said, she told you where she was going. And then you saw the person that she said she was going out with. And then you see her walk down to the car with the person and leave. So, I mean, how does this person even drive a truck that much? I mean, how do you even have the wherewithal to like follow normal signs on the road for this person to like not understand basic things? Wow.
I mean, maybe that's why he had to quit the police being a police officer, because he was just too dumb. And
I know
like,
why.
you couldn't handle it.
Oh, we all know why he.
Oh, because he started dating inmates?
Probably, or was caught in some bad pants down situation, either figuratively or. Well, I got so happy.
I love that idea. He got caught with his pants down. Yes, so he had to leave and become a trucker. Interesting.
And this is where he again, he gets primary custody, but then he takes a job where he's gone for months at a time. And this is why, again, he also just will only talk about this as why would be abandonment for his kids, but also the emotional abandonment of and also the just not caring and just thinking that they are just like, I don't know, little like parasites that look like him,
Yeah, he's not a good parent. Okay, let's move on to Anthony and She by Sheree.
Oh, this got bad quick for me.
It really did. He is not a good. He doesn't. I don't like him. Listen, did we mean to put Rochester or Coxsackie, New York? I don't know what I meant to put, but it came out as Coxsackie.
I'm telling you right now, I wrote that, and that is
Oh, okay.
exactly where it is. And they showed the writing of it, and I was like, I'm sorry, come again. And it's Coxsackie, New York, and they knew it, and so I was like, all right, sharps, I know it, so I wrote it down. And we get the classic, which is that the prisoner comes out and she jumps on him, he carries her, and then just gets to have fistfuls of ass, just like
Mm-hmm.
cup, just like every little like nuance of a palm, just like having full friction of butt. And as you slightly like scoot your fingers in, like you even feel it more. Like it's the squishiest of breads, it's just the down pillowiest of pillows. I'm just so happy for him. And I'm happy for her in this moment. This is probably the
She's
best. By the way, this is probably the best relationship will feel in this moment, and from this moment, it's all downhill. Go ahead.
I mean, Chris, it's all downhill. But first, let's take a commercial so that we can tell you guys how it's downhill. Forgot to throw that one in. Oh my gosh. I need more water.
Do you want to get it now, or do you want to finish it?
Yeah, let's finish it. Stanley Cup fully lives up to it. I mean, this thing will stay. Woo! This was a good discount purchase. Did you see all the things that I purchased from TikTok? Look on the Patreon. Patrons know. Okay, and we're coming back. All right, so as Chris just mentioned, it goes all downhill after this. She gets him clothes, and he takes literally all of his prison clothes off and leave it, and then they do a scene where they run over the prison clothes as they speed off in her Audi. And so he says that he's gone 7 years without sex, and she presents him with his mother's cooking, and he doesn't want it. And he's like, "No, I don't want any of that." She's like, "It's your mom's fried chicken." I don't want that right now. What I want is Popeye's fried chicken, not Mama's fried chicken," which I thought was so fucking rude. So rude. And
I thought
then
he said real food. Like he said something even more. Like I thought he said something like, "I want real food" or something like that too. Maybe, right?
I don't know, but he's a dick. And so then they get there, and she orders him the thing he wants. And then he bites into it and is like, "Babe, I don't like mayo." And she's like, "Well, you should have told me you didn't want mayo. I didn't know it came with mayo. Pickles? Bleh." And I'm like, "Then why the fuck did you order a chicken sandwich, my man? I get it, 7 years, you haven't seen the light of day, but chicken sandwich has been the same. Chicken sandwich been chicken sandwiching with mayo and pickles since the day the chicken sandwich first chickened."
Yeah. Also, Popeye's fucking chicken sandwich is so good that like I can't like I there are people in prison that like would hear you and be like, "The fuck are you talking about?" Like a I don't I'm just being grateful. Like this is your first meal, you should be so happy. I fucking love Popeye's chicken sandwiches. So the thought of being like, "Ugh," is like it'd be like my last meal. You know what I'm saying? Like I could, like if I'm on I'll say it right now. If I go down for all the bodies in the desert,
Mm-hmm.
my last meal,
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be Popeye's fried chicken sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
But I want Kraft macaroni, like I want Crafter macaroni and cheese. I want boxed macaroni and cheese.
Wow, that's childhood trauma right there.
And then I want ready?
No.
Gibby
Okay, that's great. Okay.
and a cheese plate. Okay.
You don't want some injera?
I do want them and I want a little Lebanese and just like a glass of a fine Bordeaux.
Okay, yeah, I like all that for you, except for the box Kraft macaroni and cheese. Like it just really feels like you just like I don't know what to tell you. So she then presents him with the itinerary, and she thinks he's gonna love it and is gonna be really excited that she like planned the whole day out. But basically, he's like, "Babe, this is like prison. I just want to go with the flow. She's like, yeah, I'm just going to go with my flow. And then her alarm starts going off with all the things that they need to do. And I imagine that Popeyes really just threw them off. It just threw her whole schedule off.
I mean, yeah, she had to drive a long way to get one. Like, like why if that is the case and he just wants a different food, like just go to like whatever honey at Taco Bell. Because this person, I don't know if he, there's by the way, no pickles, no mayo at Taco Bell.
Correct. So she takes him to get his haircut. He sits down to get his haircut. We get something from the barber, but like, who cares? And I don't know. He's just rude. He just seems like he's rude, and I don't think I'm gonna like it. So that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, he seems like he's just like, oh, this neighborhood sucks, and like I won't go back. And the barber's like, yeah, I guess he won't go back. And his haircut, by the way, doesn't look that great. I'm sure it looks better than before, but like I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. God bless. Like I agree. He feels like he's just using her, kind of like as just like a Uber/assistant. It feels like an Uber assistant,
And I mean, he admits to the barber that she's been holding it down for him, but it's like he doesn't seem appreciative. And it just falls flat for me. And then we, the next drama is that she invited her ex to the something party. Girl, like, who cares?
Yeah, where she's like, it's probably a bad idea, but I also just want to rub it in his face, so I'm making that choice. So that's who I am.
Are they like the bad Eris and Cameron?
Yeah, maybe like that. But obviously Eris is like a queen, an Eris. Like she's so on top of her shit, and like everyone loves her. Like she's, Cameron, and Cameron is also so lovable that like whatever dumb thing he says, this guy has no charm at all.
None.
And she kind of is like this kind of like hyper controlling, like I'm gonna make him, my like perfect little out of prison boyfriend who I like get on track. It's kind of like a Captain Sava man, kind of mixed with like a type A personality. Remember, this is the human resource person who like wants to put his life on a schedule and like get him, a resume, and then just like getting him in the workforce as soon as possible. But it feels kind of like playing with a Barbie or a Ken doll, like where you're just like, I'm taking Ken, like let's change Ken. Okay, good. What do I want changed? It just feels like trying to make someone something that person A didn't ask you that he wants to do, or B, and also like isn't really listening to who he is.
But I feel like he would have asked her. I feel like it's a little bit like Handy and Brittany, where like the person on the outside was tasked with the job of keeping them out of prison and or being what's good for them. And so whether or not she made that up, but it sounds like prison talk to me. It sounds like something he would say to her, like, yeah, babe, when I get out, I'm going to do all this. I'm going to get all this done. And like, I feel like she's trying to make that happen, but in a way that he doesn't appreciate. And that's the thing that, because I mean, I don't know, her kitchen looks a little disheveled. The way she dresses herself is just like lacking. So to me, it's like, she doesn't even have all that together. She just is trying to do it for him. I don't know, girl. She married a man and then had to go print a fake wedding certificate. This whole thing I call shenanigans.
Yeah, and she's gonna shenanigans again. And at the same time, I'll tell you that the one thing that she has going for her is that she makes a concerted effort to have like her titties be tittying. And I'll listen. Okay.
Yeah.
I see him.
You missed the joke. You missed the joke in that. There's like some kind of like meme or something that's like, maybe you should she-nan the first time so you don't have to shenan again. Like I can't even remember what it is, but it's like maybe you should she-han first before you she-han again. Shenanigans. Anyways, I'll figure it out, but you almost did it.
I did a version of it. I didn't miss it. I tried to do a version of it.
Oh, okay, then great. Then yes, I love that joke. Good joke, Chris.
Jesus, Wah.
I don't know.
As if you, I mean,
sorry, I'm trying to be supportive.
You don't know I do comedy. Have I never strung anything funny together? Never done that before in front of you?
I mean, not that much.
Me? I'll kill you. Oh wow, I'll kill you. Hey, you guys, listen. This is Chris. I need a new co-host. Okay, like, Wah no longer. I'm gonna take her off right now. First of all, like, no. So I need a new. So if you watch these shows and you, I don't know, like have ever like known me or followed my career, know that I'm a comedian, or like maybe you'll say a joke, you're hired, because I can't have this bullshit.
Bitch, we both have control. both have control. I could take you off stage too. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, let's talk about Joe Nomi. I mean, Joy Nomi, who
Oh,
brings me no joy. Me.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Handy and that. So we've done two good ones so far. You don't take our shine. If you're gonna use Handy for Handy and Brittany, then he's never gonna get anything.
okay.
And this is hard.
This is it. Yeah.
I we don't want to talk about it. Obviously,
Don't
we
we?
saved it
I
for
don't want
last.
to talk about it. Okay, what is it? She was horny and lonely, and so she fucked a bunch of guys raw, and so she
Oh,
doesn't know who her fucking baby daddy is at all.
okay. Is it a in my mind? I wrote this down, and you will you read my
Threesome?
note? We
Did
re,
she have a
re,
threesome?
we read my well,
Did she
yeah,
get a train run on
yeah.
her? Well, I mean, that sounds like what she did. It sounded like she went out and she was like, you and you come back. And she just laid there and let them just the shit out of her and bust in her gut.
And then listen, we've been okay. We've already known that she speaks and holds like a profound, I use that word a lot, insecurity that has like informed a lot of the choices that she has made and the ones on camera that we like, like hold our breath in horror for. So when this bit of information comes and what she's not saying, and I'm like, it is just a lot, like, because I'm not saying you can't have a train run on you. Was that me?
It was me. I'm on Do Not Disturb, but the family. Go ahead. Do you gotta
Okay.
do?
I want you to know I'm a sex positive person. Okay. It just does feel like her choices are being made from an unhealed, unhealthy, traumatic place that is chaotic and unsafe, is how I would say it. So, anyway, we get her and her sister. And she decides to go and visit a lawyer, which of course is only kind of good in the sense that we do get a little more information, which is, yeah, why doesn't she want to tell the father? Because she doesn't know who he could be. It could be three people. Again, we don't know if it's in one night or if it was like over a week, you know what I'm saying, or in the month, you know what I'm saying, or and none of these people, again, like, are open to paternity tests, like, there's a bunch of things. But basically the lawyer's like, okay, you can't just like give someone rights to your kid that like you haven't even married yet and like you are just gonna marry for 2 weeks. Like, no. And also, yeah, if you ever break up, then has custody of your kids. So like, what, you stupid bitch. And also, like,
Yeah.
I feel like the lawyer, like, if I was a lawyer, and especially if someone like this was here with me making just really a dumb choice and they had someone in their lives with them, wouldn't you with eyes scream at the friend slash sister? Like, yeah, is that you just no, which one is it? And you just want to give this one 7 years? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that New Mexican lawyer was really trying to like make it work. I don't know why he was on the show. He wasn't as like trashy as like Tyler with the ponytail. Okay, so yeah, I
Oh,
it
can I say one interesting thing?
yeah.
So she does feel guilty about this, but the way that she, the guilty about obviously having cheated on him and not knowing like who and where and when. But her two ways to talk about this post revealing that secret is to also say that um she was that he was supposed to be in prison for a certain amount of time and was supposed to like get off on good behavior, but like that behavior was like less than good, so
Mhm.
he had to fill his full sentence, and she was never like allowed a choice in that, or asked how she felt about that. And so that was why she felt like she had to do the other thing, and also, again, how deeply insecure and how much she hates herself. And that's truly it. And I mean, that's but why everything is happening, which is why it's hard, because we don't want anyone to hate themselves. But you can see here like how someone who truly hates parts of themselves like cannot feel valuable or respected enough to like be worthy. Anyway, but the second thing is she does is that she's overcompensating with her money in like a way that Handy kind of does, because Handy also feels in some way less than, where like the money that becomes, but you'll want me with this. And then it becomes, but do you want me or the money? Which is then a never ending cycle of
A
shitty.
never ending cycle, never ending story. When she said that she
Mm.
did that because he kept getting in fights and then getting his sentence extended, I was with her. I was like, yeah, Yeah, I would have a train ran on me as well. However, would I have a baby from that train? No. And also,
Choo
I mean,
choo.
would I like let them bust in me raw? No. And also I would, yeah, it's just like then her sister's like, does he know? And she's like, yeah, I told him everything. And I'm like, how did that go down?
I, I, I like run the tapes.
I know, like I need that. What was
Because
that
they have that
conversation like?
tape,
Where
right?
she was like, babe, so I'm pregnant and I don't know who the baby daddy is. I actually fucked 3 men, or I got blackout drunk 3 times in a row, all within my ovulation period, and just let them bust in my guts. All black men, by the way. Just like, because the truth is, if she doesn't know who it is, then they were all black, right? Because then she would at least have to be like, it's either one of two, or it can only be one.
I mean, that's why. I mean, when I first saw Suede, I thought obviously that he was Red's kid, you know, and then
Yeah.
I real, yeah, no,
Anyways, I'm done talking about them.
yeah, like it's obviously very sad. Suede is very, very cute. So the other horror of talking about her, and the biggest horror is what I'm saying. I don't know
Okay.
why. I just want to like. Wall's looking at me as I'm saying WHORE, but I'm trying to say HORROR, and it's hard for me to say for some reason.
No, it's
Horror?
because you like to shorten every single word you get. It's noops badoops, coops badoops. Let's go to bath and math.
Say that word. Say HORROR.
Horror.
Okay, then say WHORE.
Horror.
Same words, but you're saying it this basically the same way.
Okay, horror.
Okay,
Horror. Okay, yeah, it does sound like horror.
that's yeah,
So horror and then rr.
horror
Mm-hmm. That's
is
it.
which one? Which one did I just say?
You said horror just
Oh,
now.
good,
Mm-hmm.
because it was so slight, you know. Anyway, so God bless. So, but it's really sad because Suede is adorable.
Wait, is his name Suede or Sway?
I thought first episode that it was Sway, or whatever the first of hers, and now I think it's Suede.
Oh, which is cuter than Sway. Because all I kept thinking is how Sway. I was like, did she really name him after that like radio disc jockey? Did I say that? I did. Okay, anyways, you guys, if you want to see the visuals of what you're listening to right now, join us on patreon.com/DoggySweeties for $10 a month. You get to see all the things that I've purchased on TikTok on that. I'm just going through a phase. Sometimes I go through phases where I just can't stop buying things. I bought 2 wigs. I don't want to talk about it. Chris, where if they don't have money to buy 2 wigs,
if they don't have money to buy 2 wigs, you know, you could give us free likes and engagement, which we want engagement, any kind. You can get down on one knee, honey. You can give us a rock, honey. Don't give us no cubic zirconia. Don't haggle for the ring in front of us. You just give us a ring, you know, but I'm just kidding. Just give us a like, give us a follow. We are on Instagram. Have you heard of it? We are at DocuSweeties. We are also on X/whatever Twitter. I'm not quite sure. At DocuSweeties1. We're also on TikTok at DocuSweeties. And we have a Facebook group. It's DocuSweeties Podcast Facebook group. However, listen, we do need wigs. So if you can, go to Patreon. Give us 5 stars if you haven't yet. Other than that, we love you guys so much.
And we'll talk to you later. Bye.